Hello, this is Breakfast with Roger Johnson and SIAN Lloyd.
It's just after 8:30. Here are the morning's main stories. Police are trying to establish what caused 6 people to be thrown from a speedboat off Padstow in North Cornwall yesterday, killing an 8-year-old girl and her father. Husbands or wives of British people living abroad will no longer automatically receive a state pension under plans being drawn up by the government.
One of the most high-profile trials since the Second World War is about to get underway in Munich.
Anti-gun campaigners in the United States say that they are worried by the announcement that the world's first working gun has been produced using parts from a 3D printer.
Those are the main stories this morning. Now, here's what's coming up later in the programme.
Got to be the best job in acting, being in Death in Paradise, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great
spending all your time filming in the Caribbean.
Now, when bands get back together, the reunion sometimes doesn't last that long, but that's not the case for the Blow Monkeys.
Now, the band had a string of hits in the 80s with songs like Digging Your Scene. They split in the early 90s, got back together again 5 years ago, and they're still going strong.
And they've just released their 3rd album. Their lead singer, Robert Howard, is here to tell us all about it. But before we speak to him, we're going to remind ourselves of some of the band's biggest hits. The Blow Monkeys' new album, Feels Like a New Morning, is released today.
There you go. Many parts of the UK have enjoyed a sunny weekend. Will it continue through the bank holiday? I think if you've popped your head out of the window, you probably already know the answer to that in most places. And this image is from the Ruislip Lido in London. So, Carol, looks pretty good there too.
Carol, and you too.
Now, we're going to meet the men with the power to make mountains, a group of amateur surveyors who have been climbing and remeasuring some of Britain's highest peaks to see whether or not they are actually high enough to be called mountains.
Yeah, they've actually already reclassified 2 as mountains. And today we're going to find out if Talavan in Snowdonia could be downgraded to a hill.
Is it? Graham joins us from the foothills of Talavan now. Sian is desperate to know, as a proud Welshwoman, Graham, is it still a mountain or are you having it declassified downwards? We can almost hear the cheers where we are. Thanks very much indeed, Graham.
Yeah, thanks, Graham. Don Warrington shot to fame during the 1970s as boarding house tenant Philip Smith in the sitcom Rising Damp. Now he's bringing the show that made his name onto the stage, but this time he'll be directing the action. Yeah,
since his breakthrough role, of course, Don has starred in a wealth of other productions, most recently treading the boards as Hoke Colburn in Driving Miss Daisy, a role made famous, of course, by Morgan Freeman in the film version.
Don's here now and we'll speak to him in just a moment, but first let's see him in one of his most recent roles as the Commissioner in the comedy crime drama Death in Paradise. Not a bad assignment, that one, is it, Don? Filming out in the Caribbean for what, 3 or 4 weeks at a time?
No, it's not bad at all. Yeah.
You're managing that one.
I can't complain about that one.
Does it make a big change from the sort of grotty old bedsit where it all began for you in Rising Damp?
Yeah. I mean, actually, Rising Damp was. We filmed it in Leeds, and we had a very nice studio that we used to go into. So it wasn't too bad at all.
Do people still remember you for that? Is that still what people remember you for? Do you find it hard to shake it off? Or
yeah, it is hard. People seem to love it, and whatever I do, I'm always greeted with, "Yeah, but you were great in Rising Damp." It's I don't know. It's because I suppose at the stage it came in my career, because it was so near at the beginning. It's the benchmark from which I move, I guess.
And it was so successful, wasn't it? Voted in the top 100 of best loved sitcoms. I mean, what made it so special to the audience, do you think? And why do you think it was so successful?
I think it was wonderfully well written, number one. And I also think that it was beautifully cast. Modesty forbids that I go on about it, but I think that's part of the magic of the thing, that if you match the right cast with the right piece, then something magical can happen. And I think in the case of Rising Damp, apart from myself, that happened.
We'll talk about the stage version in a minute, but we can have a quick look for Rising Damp lovers at a little clip from the programme. This is your character, Philip Smith, trying to persuade Rigsby that a harmless snake one of the other tenants has brought into the building is actually a deadly Fawcett's python.
Well, it takes us back, but of course you're now taking the play to the stage. Tell us about, you're going to be directing it, so completely different for you being behind the scenes as in front of on show.
Yeah, it's a completely different experience in that when we filmed it, I was in it, so I couldn't look at it. I couldn't sit back and see it. So, but this is a completely I'm taking an objective view of the piece. So.
Do you find that you are therefore, because you've been there, you've done it, you've played it, will be forever identified with the role of Philip? Do you find that you're very demanding of the cast?
You'd have to ask the cast that. Whatever I'm directing, I have a standard, like everybody, and I ask them to come up to that. I mean, my job as a director is to make the actors better, really. That's what I want when I'm being directed, so that's what I try to do.
And you enjoy directing?
I love directing.
Yeah.
I love it. It's really, really nice. I really do enjoy it.
Would you see yourself going from directing stage things to perhaps to television? Is that possible?
It's all possible.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's all possible.
And you've done so much, well, since The Rising Damp and that clip that we saw. I mean, is there a standout part for you in the years that have passed? Your favourite, perhaps?
People always ask this, but
I'm sorry, I'm not very original.
No. But I think that the favourite is what one is doing at the time. Really, you know, I choose things that I really enjoy doing, and so therefore that becomes my favourite.
Great, true professional.
And back out to the Caribbean soon as well, aren't you, for a bit more Death in Paradise?
Yeah, in a few weeks. Yeah.
Tough job. Do you need anyone to carry your bags?
No, I can carry them actually. Curiously, that's yeah.
It's fantastic.
Oh, thanks so much for coming in, and we love watching you. And of course, this new venture, I'm sure, is going to be hugely successful. The UK tour of Rising Damp begins in Blackpool at the Grand Theatre on Tuesday, the 14th of May.
It's lovely to meet you. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
That almost brings us to the end of breakfast this morning. Before we go, though, let's have a quick last look at what's happening where you are this morning.
That's it from us for this morning. Bill and Susanna will be here tomorrow when they'll be joined by the singer Bonnie Tyler as she prepares to represent the UK at Eurovision.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, for the Welsh
She's from
girl.
Swansea, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Fantastic.
So you're driving around.
Lord Sugar's apprentice, assistant on The Apprentice, Nick Hewer, will be here as well with Bill and Susanna as the series returns to our screens. Enjoy your bank holiday, enjoy all the sunshine. They'll be back tomorrow from 6. Thanks for watching this morning. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.